I've been talking a little bit about the five pillars of prosperity and how the five areas will contribute to a prosperous life. Just to recap, those five pillars are quality relationships, meaningful work or service, physical and mental well-being, rest and recreation, and your spirituality. Now, I had an experience way back in the start of my career where I experienced burnout, and I just want to link in how that's related to the five pillars of prosperity, or rather, the challenges to the five pillars of prosperity. In this work situation, I was straight out of uni. I had relocated to start this particular job, and I was very new. I was very new to the field. I was very, very new to the area. So I didn't have any real quality relationships. And most of the relationships that I formed in that first year were all connected with the work environment that I was in. My work for that first year was very meaningful. I had trained to do this job. I was into this role, and I was very sure that this is where I was meant to be. I was feeling like I had lots of opportunities to develop and grow. And while I knew that I had a lot to learn, I felt that I was doing quite well. And I wasn't getting any feedback to the contrary. I was actually sort of getting a lot of encouragement that actually for first year in the job, you're not doing too bad at all. And I believe that. So I worked through and I worked really hard. I had a lot of things that I got stuck into in that particular location, in that context. I got to the end of the year and I received some feedback that totally undermined everything that I had believed was true about the situation. So basically, I was given a bad performance review, and that then threw into question things about the relationships that I had that were all connected with that context. My work suddenly was like, well, okay, I've gone and worked really, really hard, and none of my hard work is actually being acknowledged in this feedback. It's basically undermined my whole sense that I had done anything that was worthwhile. And so I was torn between my sense that I had done a good job and this feedback that said that I hadn't. And I didn't know what to do with that. That had a cascading effect. My relationships became strained. The people in the context weren't the same. So I was stuck now with fewer relationships and not sure who I could trust. So my pillar of quality relationships was becoming very shaky indeed. My work, as I said, was totally in question as to whether or not I was doing anything that was meaningful. And that was having a knock-on effect on my personal well-being. My physical and mental health started to crumble about 4 months into the second year. And I got physically sick, but I was also massively angry and really struggling to know what it was that I needed to do and not having any avenue to be able to work that through. And of course, this was having an effect on the fourth pillar, which was the rest and recreation, because I could not switch off from work. It was just consuming my mind all the time that it's like I'm under suspicion. I feel like I've not been doing a good job. I'm trying really, really hard, but I'm getting no feedback. And I'm really not sure what people are thinking about me. Nobody's telling me anything. And I felt really isolated and alone. So I was trying desperately to work out what was going on here. And as my physical and mental health declined, I was not able to rest, but I was also not able to work effectively either. And when I got physically sick, I took some time off work, which I had not done for the first year at all. And I realized that in that time off that I had, that it was the first time that I had not come home with a pile of work that I needed to do. And I was also not coming home and just staring at the walls, being completely overwhelmed by the tasks that were in front of me. The one pillar that was the most solid out of the five was my spirituality and the beliefs that I had around where I fitted and the support that I had on a spiritual level. And that did not prevent me from falling in a heap and hitting burnout. Okay. And then that became a little shaky once I had that experience of burnout. So it took some time then to rebuild and to be able to get those pillars strong and able to support me and create and support the prosperous life that I was looking for. It involved a whole lot of reassessment of myself, reassessment of the context that I'd just come out of, an assessment of where it was that I wanted to go in life and what it was that I needed to be able to have a prosperous life. And one of the things that I realized was that I had been taking too much stock in other people's expectations of me. And that was something that, on reflection, after my experience of burnout, I realized I could not allow to happen again. And I had to put some things in place and get clear about what my boundaries were to ensure that I kept realistic expectations of myself and didn't allow other people's expectations of me to override what I actually needed. You may find that you're going through a similar situation where the different pillars of your prosperous life are being shaken by things that are either outside of your control or by choices that you've made that have had unexpected consequences. It's going to be important to find a space to take stock to be able to strengthen those pillars again, because as as they start to crumble and as they start to weaken, it ends up having a negative effect. And believe me, from personal experience, burnout's not fun. If you would like to talk about your circumstances and would like a confidential space to explore your options, please reach out to me. I'm Neville Starick from Cynosure Counselling and Coaching. I am your personal prosperity and performance strategist, and I'm here to help you to create and maintain your prosperous life.